rest feels unsafe to stressed nervous systems. There's a strange experience many people live with quietly. You're exhausted, your body is clearly asking for rest, and yet, when you finally stop, something feels wrong. Your thoughts speed up, your body stays alert. You feel restless, uncomfortable, or emotionally unsettled. So instead of resting, you distract. You scroll, you keep busy. You stay half engaged with the world. And that can be confusing. Because you want rest, you need rest. But your system doesn't seem to allow it. If that's something you recognize, this isn't a failure on your part. And it's not because you don't know how to rest. It's because, for some nervous systems, rest doesn't feel safe. And today, we're going to gently explore why that happens and how rest can begin to feel possible again. Why we misunderstand rest. Most of us are taught a very simple idea about rest. That it's the opposite of effort. That you stop doing and your body relaxes. But for many people, that isn't what happens. Instead, stopping removes distraction. And when distraction disappears, whatever has been held underneath rises. Thoughts, sensations, memories, internal noise. So rest starts to feel uncomfortable rather than soothing. This is where shame often appears. People think, why can't I relax like everyone else? Why do I feel worse when I slow down? What's wrong with me? But nothing is wrong. What's happening isn't a lack of discipline or willpower. It's a nervous system that learned at some point that stillness wasn't safe. And that learning wasn't a choice. What's actually happening inside? The nervous system's main job is protection. It doesn't judge. It doesn't reason. It doesn't analyze context. It simply asks one question over and over. Am I safe right now? For some people, periods of stress, unpredictability, pain, or emotional overwhelm taught the nervous system that alertness was necessary. Staying switched on helped them cope. Staying vigilant helped them function. Staying aware prevented things from getting worse. Over time, that state became familiar. So when the body is asked to rest, truly rest, the system doesn't interpret that as relief. It interprets it as vulnerability. Rest means lowering guard. Stillness means less control. Silence means fewer distractions, so the nervous system responds by staying alert. This is why some people feel anxious when they lie down. Why racing thoughts appear when the body finally stops. Why rest can feel strangely threatening. This isn't because rest is bad. It's because the nervous system hasn't yet learned that this version of rest is safe, and that distinction matters. The reframe. Rest is not switching off. Here's the reframe that changes everything. Rest is not about forcing the body to relax. Rest is about teaching the nervous system that it no longer needs to stay on guard. And that doesn't happen instantly. For some people, rest doesn't start with lying down. It starts with reducing pressure, with gentleness, with neutrality. Rest might look like quiet engagement rather than stillness, like soft focus rather than silence, like safety before calm, and that's okay. You don't have to do rest properly. You don't have to override discomfort. You don't have to push yourself into stillness. When rest feels unsafe, the goal isn't relaxation. The goal is safety, and safety comes first. What helps? Gentle ways to feel better. If rest has felt difficult for you, here are some gentle orientations, not rules, that can help the body soften over time. First, lower the expectation. Rest doesn't need to feel good straight away. It just needs to feel less demanding than pushing. Second, allow rest to be active at first. This could be listening to calm audio, watching something familiar, and non-stimulating gentle movement, sitting rather than lying down. Stillness can come later. Third, stay present without forcing calm. If thoughts arise, let them pass without engaging. If sensations appear, notice without meaning. You don't need to make rest productive. Fourth, shorten rest windows. 5 minutes of safety teaches the nervous system more than an hour of forced stillness. And finally, be kind to the system that adapted. Difficulty resting is not a flaw, it's evidence of resilience. Your nervous system learned to protect you. Now it's learning that it no longer has to do that alone. If rest has felt hard for you, nothing is wrong with you. Your body hasn't failed. Your nervous system hasn't betrayed you. It adapted, and adaptation can be gently unwound. Rest doesn't need to be earned. It doesn't need to be perfected. It begins with permission to go slowly, permission to redefine rest, permission to meet yourself where you are. Take what resonates, leave the rest. And know this, your system can learn safety again. Today we talked about why rest can feel unsafe. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because your nervous system learned to stay alert in order to cope. We explored how rest isn't about forcing calm, but about teaching the body that it's safe to soften again. If this helped you feel even a little more understood, a little less alone in your experience, then this conversation has done its job. If you'd like to, leave a comment below. You don't need to explain anything. Even a heart is enough. If this video feels like something someone else might need, you're welcome to like it and share it. And if you'd like to stay with these kinds of conversations, gentle, grounded, and human, you're welcome to subscribe. As always, this has been Valkyrie. Thank you for stopping by. Until next time, be kind to yourself and to others. Lanterns up, people.